If you're running meta ads for your detailing business and you're struggling with a low response rate or bad lead quality, you need to stop running lead form ads and instead implement the organic funnel system. Today, I'll be explaining exactly how to make that switch in your detailing business. But first, let's break down why your lead form ads aren't producing a high response rate. So typically when you run an ad, you have a lead form, you'll have a lot of leads that come in, you'll have fewer people who respond and fewer people who close. The reason this is the case is because you're working with cold leads. So somebody turns into a lead when they come across your content. So this could be organic content or it could be paid advertising content. The idea is somebody sees a video and that video is what piques their interest enough to want to reach out. So typically they fill out a lead form or they'll DM you. Maybe it takes a few minutes for you to respond or maybe it takes a few hours for you to respond. The point is, as soon as they filled out the information, they went back to scrolling on social media or they went back to doing something else. And since they're a cold lead, they forgot about your service or they weren't interested enough to actually respond once you reached out to them. And that's typically from a lack of information, a lack of trust, or they don't see the value in your service. For example, a lack of information. So if they had more information, seeing the benefits of your service or seeing how many issues it would fix for them or seeing what these great benefits are that they would get from your services, most likely they'd want to reach out more because they'd want it on their vehicle. If it's a lack of trust, nobody's going to buy from somebody that they don't trust. So if you're never showing your face, talking on camera, it's hard to build that trust and sometimes people can be skeptical. If they don't see the value, this kind of goes hand in hand with the lack of information. But if somebody doesn't see the value in your service, it's the same thing. They don't think it's going to be worth the price, so they're not going to want to reach out, get a quote, and move forward on that call. So the way that you fix all these issues is through content. So if you show them more content, answering these questions for them, it'll inform them, it'll build more trust, and it'll build more value. That's why I filmed this video, and that's why I post talking content on my Instagram account. It provides information, builds trust, and it builds value. So the way that you fix that is by implementing the organic funnel system. So the first step is always having a content funnel. So a content funnel is basically posting a certain type of content on Instagram where it'll generate traffic for your account, it'll inform your prospects, and then it'll actually get people to convert. So without this, your ad strategy won't work, or at least it won't work as good as you want. So the content funnel is kind of like the backbone, it's like the foundation to your ad strategy. So once you have this, a lot of your organic content you can run directly as ads, because when you're running ads, the more your content looks like organic videos, the better it'll convert. The way you want to look at this is when you're watching TV and a commercial comes on, it's interrupting the show that you're watching. Typically, the commercial is not going to be as interesting, so you go on your phone, you switch the channel, you're pretty much just ignoring the commercial because it's not interesting. It doesn't keep you engaged. And traditional ads, that's typically what it is as well. But if we have super engaging content, if you run a detailing business, for example, a good top of funnel ad would be ASMR videos, just showing the step-by-step process, or a job walkthrough, showing when you get to the job site, the process that you're doing, the step-by-step process, the benefits, just kind of explaining that whole process. That's typically pretty engaging. So what'll happen is people will watch that video, it'll build curiosity, and they're going to click on your Instagram account, and then they're going to start to funnel through your content. Okay, and that's where the content funnel comes into play. Because now people will sift through your Instagram page, and they're going to follow your account, they're going to watch 95% of certain videos, they're going to like or comment on certain videos, and then what happens is your ads will go in and retarget those people who are watching certain videos, following your account, because now we know that these people have more interest. So if we retarget them, it's a higher chance that they're going to move forward and turn into a lead. So that's why the content funnel is important. Without this, everything else will just kind of fall apart. So this right here is your ads. So this would be your top of funnel, your general ASMR video, or anything that's top of funnel, anything that's reaching a large audience. We kind of want to inform them about who we are and our name, just kind of build some curiosity around it. Then what will happen is anybody who lands on our Instagram profile, we're going to retarget. So you'll see here, retarget 1% of leads. Because we could have 100,000 views, but we could have, say, 1,000 people who land on our Instagram account. And we don't want to retarget the 99,000 people. We want to retarget the 1,000 people. We know that we have a higher chance of those 1,000 people converting. And this is typically where you can retarget them with like a DM call to action or a lead form. But it doesn't stop here. What we're going to do is retarget them one more time with trust building content. So as people start to see our content, fill out lead forms, basically show interest in our services, now we're going to retarget them with testimonial videos, just reassuring them that they're making a good decision, they're reaching out to the right company, building that trust to make it easier for them to say yes. Now, to show you a bit of a breakdown of what this looks like, this is that top of funnel content. So this is just our very general top of funnel content. Right here would be a POV video. It could be showing a maintenance detail. It could be somebody bought a new car, so you're ceramic coating the car. But this is all meant to, right here, just build interest in our services. Then we'll retarget them, and if we see that somebody's showing interest in a detailing video, we're going to retarget them with more detailing content, talking about the price of our details, the benefits of our details, talking about our maintenance plans. If we see that people are showing interest in a ceramic coating video, then we're going to retarget them with ceramic coating content because we know that they have interest in the coating. So talk about the price and everything regarding that. What will happen is these leads will start to get pre-qualified and pre-sold. So before they even talk to you on the phone, the content is what's selling them. So now they're getting really interested in all these services. So whenever they do fill out a lead form, it's a higher chance that they're actually going to respond because they're going to be a little bit more eager to want to get on the schedule because now they already know the price, they see the value, they know more information about it, and they want it a little bit more. But we're still not pushing for the conversion yet. Right here is typically where we push for the conversion. So you'll see lead. This is basically where we run an offer. Okay, so the next piece of content would be an offer. Something like today only, we're offering our biggest sale of the year on our one-step paint correction, 6-year ceramic coating. Typically we charge $1,650, but the next 3 people, it's on sale for $999. Or click the link below or DM us coding to get your car on the schedule. So now they've gone through all this content. They're getting more and more interested, and then eventually they get pitched with an offer. So it's like right place, right time. Now that we know that they're interested, now we're pitching with an offer, and we're using that limited time spot or limited availability to kind of speed up that process and get them to reach out now as opposed to pushing it off and waiting later. So then what will happen is you'll contact them and you're going to have a way higher close rate from doing that because of the urgency and also they were just pre-sold. But all these people who didn't reply whenever you called them, typically just going to be a lack of information. So we're going to retarget them with more of this content. And this is where you'll cycle in new ad creatives every 7 to 10 days to make sure that they're seeing new cars and getting new information. And eventually they turn back into a lead, contact them, and you close them. So really the benefits of doing it this way is they're going to be pre-sold, so easier to close, pre-qualified, so they're higher quality leads willing to pay a bit more of a premium, and they're more informed because they've gone through all this content. And when somebody's more informed, you're going to have less objections. It's not like you're having to convince them as to why they need a coating. You're convincing them as to why now is the best time to get it done. So it's a much easier close that way. This is the exact strategy I use on a daily basis, and we generate $5,000 leads on a daily basis from it. So highly recommend implementing something like this into your business. So if you want help implementing this ad strategy into your business, just DM me the word grow on Instagram and I'll reach out to you seeing if you'd be a good fit. But other than that, that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.